Hello and welcome to the webinar. Today we're going to be showing you how our new development, Advanced Forms, improves your customer experience really easily. Advanced Forms is the latest development of our Squiz DXP. I'm Leonie May, Senior Product Marketing Manager here at Squiz, and you'll be joining me over the next, 30 to 45 minutes as we run through how our Advanced Forms is helping our customers, some of the benefits that they're experiencing, what you can do with Advanced Forms beyond collecting data to improve your end user experience. And you'll also get a demo of the product in action. So let's get started. First, some introductions. Joining me to answer your questions today is Julie Brettle, Chief Product Officer, with our Product Manager, Eugene Mok, showcasing Advanced Forms via video. Now, for the housekeeping, this webinar is being recorded, so you will receive a copy via email within the next day. If you do have any technical difficulties during the session, you can use the Q&A window by clicking on the icon at the bottom of your screen. And please submit any questions you have into the Q&A window, and you can do this throughout the session. Julie will be answering all questions at the end. So firstly, I just want to touch on why you should care about forms. If forms are used correctly, they can be a really powerful tool to make decisions. So you can collect valuable data on customer preferences, satisfaction, and areas needing improvement. You can optimize your process for streamlining operations. So think about reducing administrative tasks, using forms instead of staff, and you can improve the user experience. So forms can enable your customers or end users to self-serve and complete tasks themselves. And forms help customers with data governance. So forms can ensure your data collection is standardized, safe, and compliant. So why should service-led organizations care about Advanced Forms? Well, creating customizable and dynamic forms is hard and time-consuming, as you probably know. For example, creating forms with logic, revealing questions based on the answers provided, or forms that appear with, say, pre-filled information about a person, they can be really complicated to build and implement. And common challenges we hear from our customers about creating these types of forms include the complex development. So building online forms to meet organizations' unique needs can be complex and costly. There's significant development, effort, and expertise required. Your teams might be unable to self-serve. So this means marketing and non-tech teams are unable to get the jobs done. It causes bottlenecks in the organization, reducing time to market and increasing implementation costs. It's hard to maintain and there's no centralization. Some customers might choose a niche solution, but that comes at a cost, not just paying for the application itself, but maintaining it. Niche form solutions, they add another software to your tech stack, and maintaining all of the different solutions with these point-to-point integrations gets messy really fast. And data ends up being duplicated across your different system, and there's no central place to access all of your forms. And data vulnerability and security risks. So security practices of add-ons and plugins can't be guaranteed. Hacking and risks to customer data is at an all-time high, and you need a centralized location to monitor all of your data and any threats. So how does Squiz Advanced Forms help solve these challenges? Well, with Squiz Advanced Forms, non-technical users can create dynamic forms in minutes. You can swiftly construct customized forms that meet specific needs and provide a meaningful customer experience. There's no developer reliance, so you don't require developers to get started, implement, or build dynamic forms. Developers can get time back to work on their value-added tasks and the development projects that really matter. It's fast to build and deliver to a variety of channels. There's a drag and drop form builder, predetermined form field types, and customizable conditional logic. Anyone can build and publish a dynamic form in minutes, and you can be confident that your form meets accessibility standards as well. It's easy to deliver forms to your website, portal, apps, mobile, email, and more, as you'll see, and give your teams the tools to really get the job done without the complexity. It's easy to integrate and centralize. So integrations are easy with our out-of-the-box connectors. You can connect forms and automatically route data to other digital applications. For example, update customer information on your CRM, and all forms are centralized to one location. And you're always secure and compliant. So Advanced Forms collects and securely stores customer data We offer enterprise-grade security and protection in one location, that's being the Squiz DXP. You can effectively manage customer data while ensuring compliance, privacy, and data security in line with GDPR regulations. You get total peace of mind with encryption, access control, user authentication, and secure data transfer. And as you know, automatic updates and upgrades on SaaS mean you always have the latest functionality, security. Leave the maintenance to us. And as you may know, Squiz DXP is made up of 9 core capabilities that you need to build brilliant experiences fast. You can come as you are with our DXP by bringing and integrating your current tech solutions. Everything works as one. It allows you to embrace change with confidence, knowing that your experiences are always secure and you can make changes without anything breaking. And Squiz Advanced Forms is part of the experience management capability that allows you to build, manage, govern, and evolve omnichannel experiences fast. So before we show you how Squiz DXP Advanced Forms, I want to give you an overview of just some of the possibilities and things you can do with them. So it's really about creating fast. As I mentioned before, you can create really complex forms in minutes. We've heard of some of our customers speaking recently about taking months to achieve the same results. You can publish and share. So this is about publishing your forms anywhere across all devices. You can embed forms or share via links. You can view, download, and use the responses at any time or send them directly to any other of your systems. And of course, you can optimize experiences for all of your customers. So when I talk about creating fast, we mean building using a visual no-code drag and drop form builder. There's pre-built templates that you could use and ready-made field types to get you started really quickly. It's really easy to create the multi-step and multi-page forms, as you'll see. It also supports payment gateways, digital signatures, and file uploads for that extra data collection. And it's really easy to publish and share the form itself. You can embed the form on your website, and whether that's a Squiz site or a third-party website, such as Drupal, Sitecore, Adobe WordPress, or some other customized CMS. And you can share on your social channels and with email with a URL link. You can place onto the portal, or you can easily generate a QR code for fast data collection. And to actually see and use the responses, there's quite a few options as well. You can route the submissions to other applications, as mentioned, your CRM, your SIS, marketing automation tools, or your data storage. You can send data to your Squiz CDP to personalize content. You can apply approval workflows, so members of your team get notified if they need to take an action, like once a form's submitted, for example. And you can also view the results in your DXP or export to PDF or CSV. And just to get you thinking of some of the possibilities of what you can use forms for and how you can really optimize your customer experience. You can gather signatures electronically, make payments, complete a registration, gather feedback, enroll in a course, enter a competition, complete a survey, make a booking, and that's just the beginning. So I'd now like to show you the demonstration of our product manager, Eugene Mok, explaining a bit about the back end of Advanced Forms.
Hey everyone, it's Eugene here, product manager for Squiz. And thank you, Leonie, for the intro. So today I wanted to take everyone through an example. We're going to build an advanced form together on our local government website. So I'm going to cover some of the really cool functionality, such as conditional logic, e-signatures, payment gateways, auto calcs, and a lot. And yeah, we'll have a look at the finished product together as well. So let's crack into it. Okay, so let's start with the finished product. So what you see on the screen here is the final product of the form that we're going to be creating together. And this is on our local government website. You can see here, everything here is ready to go. But let's jump into the creation process together. So right now I'm in the advanced form builder and I'm about to create a new form. Today we're going to be going with the blank form. Let's start with adding our header to this form. Next, I'm going to add a heading to this form. For our example, this is a Squiz Council parking permit form. So therefore, my title is a parking permit form. Next, we're going to add a subheading. So just to make this heading stand out a little bit more, we're going to change some of the stylings behind this particular field. What you need to do is go back to the field, go to Edit Details, Show Advanced Options. First, we're going to change the background color. For this example, I'm going to change it to Squiz-centric colors, and I'm going to change the text to white to make it easier to read. And let's just make the alignment to be centered. Let's do the same for this H1 heading here. Next, I'm going to start adding some metadata fields in here. We're going to need to grab a phone number. We want to capture the email address too. So for the email address, we have a field that is as part of our validation. So this will actually validate that your customer is entering a proper email address. And of course, with every permit form, you also need an address field. For customers who are not within the ANZ region, you'll be able to soon select your selected region, and this will pre-populate some of the fields down here. Next up, we'll probably need the driver's license of the customer applying for this permit. So let's add that on as well. Let's have a question here to capture the car rego number while we're at it. So let's put in a question here for your customer to upload a file. Just to add a bit of structure to your form as well, let's add a break divider. Okay, next we're going to be adding in a conditional question for your customers. We'll go to the form field section here on the side panel, pick the choose one field type, put in the sub values here under the question. So we're going to also allow our customers to add multiple drivers to be a part of this permit. To do that, we first need to add a field table to place all those fields in as part of that conditional logic. So now that we have all the fields in place within the field table, we can start configuring the conditional logic. Just the full name one. You go to Edit Field Details, go to Show Advanced Options, and tick this last box here. Show hide this field with conditional logic. First, we're going to select the previous question. Would you like to nominate another driver for your permit? When they say yes, then this field will show. We'll then do the same thing for the next field next to full name, which is the driver's license field. Last thing we're going to do on this particular form is add a page break. What a page break means on the advanced form builder, it means that you can break down this page into a second step, or what we call as a multi-page. And now it breaks into a second page. And let's have a look at what we created so far. Okay, all your fields are in play. You've got your validation here. You can see I didn't put in the act, so it validates that my email is incorrect. And let's see how our conditional logic actually works. If I select yes, the field table should show. And if I want to add another driver, I can do so with the macro that I added before. And of course, we broke the page before to a second page. So let's see if that works. And there we go. So let's continue now. Okay, so for our example and our second page, we want to start adding in some payment detail type questions so that we can get those details off the customer who is applying for the permit. Because it is a new section, we're going to be adding a H2 heading as per before, just to break it up and make it look nicer. So you go to Add a Heading field from the design elements, and we're going to be picking the Squiz colors for this example, and the font to be white. So next I want to add in a field that can auto-calculate how much the permit would cost dependent on time. But for this example, I'm going to use time and duration as that metric. Okay, so to set up the auto calculation tool, we need to first pick some values. For my example, I'm going to pick this particular field to start setting up those values and put in some values here. So for me, I'm going to put in 12 months, 24 months, or 36 months. Now go to Show Advanced Options. There'll be a section here called Assign Numeric Values for your options, where you can actually put in dollar amounts for the option selected. Okay, next we're going to start the next step of the Auto Calc field. And go to the calculation field type. Name this amount. Now you need to go to, so we're going to be adding the formula here. So you go into the Insert into Formula and use the previous question as that driver. And because I've entered the full amount in the numeric value for the previous field, I'm just going to add 1 to it. Okay, now that our customer has selected the duration of their permit, they know how much they need to pay. Let's add a payment gateway for them to do so. I'm going to be using PayPal as the payment gateway. You should also be sure to check this particular flag here to change price dynamically based on form choices. This will automatically pick up the calculated price from the previous 2 fields and add that to the payment to make it easier for the customer. So now we've got the payment gateway on the builder itself. Let's make the structure look a bit better by adding a divider in below it. Okay, so now that we've broken up the form here with the divider, let's start adding in some T's and C's. For this example, I'll be using our formatted text field. What we can actually do with the formatted text is change the fonts, the variations, colors, alignments, and so forth. Okay, so let's put a checkbox in to make sure that they've actually read it. Okay, so once we've received that confirmation from the customer, and usually, by the way, you will make this a mandatory field, but for example, let's just fly through this so that we can go through and showcase the rest of the form. But yeah, provided that this is a mandatory field, let's go to the next one and put in a digital signature field. The digital signature has 2 options for your customers. They can draw the signature directly on the form, or they can pick type signature as well, being able to type it and just validate that they've confirmed that they're going to be submitting this form. Let's add in a reCAPTCHA. We have both Google reCAPTCHA and standard CAPTCHA. For our example, we'll be using the standard HCAPTCHA. Okay, now that we've added everything in, let's start changing the styling of all our font families and colors so that it's in line with your brand requirements. You scroll up to the side panel area and go to Styling and Themes. We all know that this is quite a long form, especially if you're going to be creating forms that are more than 2 pages. So let's go into form settings and see what other options we have. From here, you can configure emails and SMSs after the form submission to your customers. You can have a quick confirmation message that you can send to your customers as well, with styling included. But what we want to get into is the usability side. This particular feature is what I quite like that we've added to the form builder, which is enable users to save and complete later. Once that's ticked, it's automatically activated. We also have security access where you can put in usernames and passwords required to access a form, and a built-in workflow that you can use as part of that approval process for forms as well. We've got some integration paths available for our customers that are out of box, and soon to come is our own Squiz Connect recipes that you can use to easily integrate with other tech stacks within your organization. Okay, so let's get to the publishing. Once you're done with form settings, you go to the form publishing, and you have a few options. You can send out the form via URL, so your customers can access it that way. Or you can generate a QR code for your customers as well. Within the embed options, you're going to have a JavaScript path, but also an iframe path as well. But we recommend a JavaScript path so that it can be inheriting all the styling from your websites. So let's go ahead and copy the path here and paste it onto our page. Before we actually paste it onto our page, let's have a look at what we've built so far. Go to View Form. Making sure that everything works. Okay. Our second page. You can see it auto-calculates it as well. And then our PayPal will automatically capture that particular amount. You've got your validation checkbox here, as we mentioned before. We can digitally sign the form, or we can go to Type Avenue. And we've got our reCAPTCHA. Okay, so let's get this form onto our page and as part of our content. Now, I've teleported to the page that we want to add this form in, and I've entered into edit mode as well. So simply add a component, paste in the script that you had before, hit save, go to the page in which this form has been added, go to preview, and there's the form that we've built together. Thank you for your time today and watching this video. If you have any further questions, please reach out to Squiz.
Thanks very much, Eugene. So I have Julie here, Julie Brettle here, to answer any questions that you might have. Please feel free to ask any questions. If we don't get through them today, we will be sending out the Q&A after the session. So welcome, Julie.
Hi.
I'll just start from the top. The first question is, how easy is it to integrate with other third-party platforms? So, for example, do you integrate with Dynamic 365, Salesforce?
Yeah, so it's really easy. Through the Squiz integrations capability, we have hundreds of pre-built integrations, so you can send your forms data anywhere you need to sync it to, like a CRM, an ERP, a CDP, any of the three-letter acronyms. But, and so if you check out squiz.net integrations, you'll be able to see all the pre-built ones. But of course, our integrations capability also allows you, if we don't have something that's pre-built and you would like to sync your forms data there, that you can build your own using any REST API, webhook, etc. So it's very, very easy to integrate.
Interesting. Next question, how do you ensure sensitive customer data collected using the forms is protected? So customer data protection.
Yeah, so all of the forms data is encrypted in transit and at rest, and that's the main way. The other thing is we've given you full control over who has access to the replies to your forms data inside the forms capability. So you'll have full control and governance at your end, and then at our end, we take care of the encryption, so it's always safe.
Interesting. What other payment gateways do you support besides PayPal?
The other big one is Stripe, but we would love to find out what payment gateways are really important to our customers so we can make sure that we include them. So if you do have a payment gateway that you would love to see included in our list, if you could reach out at ask@squiz.net, and we'll make sure that that goes on our roadmap.
Next question, can the form automatically take on any styling of the broader website so that's always on brand?
Yeah, so Eugene was showing that around how you can inherit that. There's quite a lot of flexibility around pre-building templates and making sure that you keep your forms consistent with your brand that we've included. So it's easy to do.
Cool. How do these forms display reporting and analytics? Can I easily see form usage and insights?
Yeah, so right at the beginning, Eugene showed the forms dashboard. So this is where you can see all of your active forms And you can see some high-level stats around how many views they've had, how many replies they've had, and you can also go in and view the data. This also shows incomplete forms. So if you want to review them to see if there are any trends around, if there is a specific question that people are dropping off at, for example, or it might be a little bit too long, you can go in and see that. That data can then also be downloaded, and obviously as part of the forms workflow, you could set it up to be synced to different areas as well. But the main way to see reporting and analytics is you go into the forms dashboard and you'll be able to see some high-level stats there. It is fairly simple at the moment. We've really just made sure that we capture views and replies, so it's really easy for you to see at a glance how many people have seen your form and how many people have actually replied, even incomplete replies. But if there's anything else you'd love to see there that would make it easier for you to manage your forms experiences, reach out at ask@squiz.net.
Fantastic. What else is on the roadmap for the forms product? So what's next, I guess?
Yeah, so the one thing that we're working on right now is integration with the Squiz CDP to make it easier to pre-fill forms. So if you're in a logged in experience, for example, like a portal of some kind, an intranet, anything like that, we want to make it really easy if you're using the Squiz CDP or any other CDP to be able to, since you understand who that user is, pre-fill any information in, just to make it easier for that user to do it. We also want to make easier integration with other CMSs apart from our own. And also I mentioned earlier our integrations platform. So we're constantly be releasing more integrations to make it even easier to send your form data to your other business systems. And so let us know where you'd like to send that, and so we can make sure that's on the roadmap. One thing that I'm really excited about is the ability to take a paper form and scan it in and turn it into an advanced digital form. So I think this is something that's really going to help our customers speed up their digital transformation and turn any of those, hundreds of paper forms that you might have around that your customers need to fill in, and turn those into digital ones so they can fill them in easily and simply at their own home instead of having to come in for paper.
Fantastic. That's very cool. So that's all the questions that we've got for now. As mentioned, 30 to 45 minutes. So we might finish up there. If you do have any questions that you think about throughout your evening, just send them through to ask@squiz.net. We are monitoring that and we will get back to you with any responses. If you'd like more of a demonstration or what it means for you, we'll be more than happy to assist you with that. So thank you very much for your time. Appreciate you attending, and we'll speak to you soon.